Well, I hope you're all ready for the dousing of ice water that's about to happen upon the blue tsunami waves, hopes, and dreams that's coming from the Democrat and the left side of the party, because NBC News just kind of did it right on their faces. And this, you're going to want to see and spread this one out. So hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. I always have the receipts in the description box below, and I don't want to bury the lead on you. We're just going to dive right into it. So what I'm going to show you through right now is something that NBC News just dropped. Some polling which is weird because it kind of conflicts with everything that I'm hearing on the left right now about how you don't really have a voice anymore. No one likes you. No one likes Trump. No one likes the Republicans. There's a blue tsunami coming. I think they're going to take 97 seats. That's what I heard. Yeah, and then reality strikes. There's always room to improve, so I'm not saying everything is hunky-dory, and we're working through our fine-tuning and opportunities on Team Red. But Team Blue, in this false expectation, it's about to get tempered a little bit. All right, let's get into this. Take it away, Steve Kornacki, NBC News. This is not my polling, this is theirs. Watch this.
Together. Steve, it's one thing for us to hear from voters on the ground, but then we have to look at the data to see if one or two anecdotal accounts of how voters are feeling actually is applying to everyone. What are the polls telling us right now about where things stand?
Yeah, Ryan, we're looking at numbers in the polls that have moved this fall and really moved, I think, starting with the government shutdown in a way that's concerning for the president and for his party. So take a look right now. This is the average, the real clear average, all the different polls that are out there right now in terms of Trump's approval rating, 43%. Disapproval, you see, is basically 55. Here's the switch, though, from the start of the fall, basically from Labor Day. This is what it looked like. And again, remember, Trump as a president, his numbers have kind of been in a pretty narrow range, historically speaking. And around Labor Day, he was doing, by his own standard, his first and second term, he was doing pretty good. 45-50 here, approve, disapprove. And you can see that now that gap has more than doubled, basically to 12 points in the course of the fall. And it really did accelerate during that shutdown in October. And we certainly saw that reflected, I think, in those results in New Jersey and Virginia. Put this in some historical context here again.
All right. Put this in some historical context. And guys, this is the part where I try to bring you what's really going on and not lie to you one way or the other. Because what they just said on NBC News, Steve Kornacki, he went down from 45% to 43%. It's untenable. No one likes him. It's horrible. Can't you believe it? Blue tsunami inbound. Until you go to this part of his little presentation and you see something real funny. You see Joe Biden's face right there? Yeah, that was in 2021. And, well, you know what? I'm gonna let Steve tell you, and then we'll kind of break down the analysis on that while we go through it. Watch this. Take it away, Steve.
And these are sort of modern presidents at this same point, looking at where their approval rating was. You see, again, we say Trump right now, 43%. This is basically a year out from the midterms for these previous presidents right here. And again, you see that Trump number. It's in basically that range, remember.
Yeah, I'm going to pause it just real quick and just do a little bit of a PRBS alert. General announcement, if you will. If this was a lefty, it would literally be Donald Trump. Or if this was left, if Donald Trump was left, let's say it's Joe Biden. Joe Biden's at 43%, which is second only to Barack Obama. However, because it's Donald Trump, it's like, it's within the range. It's close. Okay. This is the part where reality starts to strike in. Get ready for that bucket of ice cold water. Joe Biden at this time in 2021, a year out from the midterms, was at 41.6%. Trump is at 43%. So this whole Trump is the least popular president that's ever existed, and everyone hates him, and everyone hates you for liking him, and everyone hates you for everything, and no one likes a single Republican, and they, in fact, just hint of Republican makes people vomit? Yeah, not really, because it turns out Joe Biden sucked. But we can't say that. And this is better than Donald Trump's first term, 4 points above it. Then you got Barack Obama's second term, 3 points above that. But it's in the range. Y'all, this is the same thing I've been telling you. This is gaslighting to an extensive degree. And yes, are there opportunities of which the Trump administration and the White House can absolutely improve and consolidate their base, particularly with independents? Absolutely. That's called refinement. There's room for that. But when you're looking at this presentation, he's beating himself the first time, he's beating Joe Biden, and he's beating Barack Obama the second time, just barely missing Barack Obama the first time. Yeah. about that blue tsunami. And don't worry, he's about to hit it too. Watch this.
In the 2010 midterms, Obama and the Democrats got wiped out. In 2013, very bad midterm for the Democrats. 2018, Trump's first term, very bad midterm. It was a blue wave, bad midterm for the Republicans. The interesting one here is Joe Biden. You see where his number was at this point in his term. The 22 midterms, the Republicans got control of the House, but it wasn't the red wave Republicans were expecting. It actually was Democrats held up better than they thought they would, especially given these numbers. Why? Because in those midterms in 22, Democrats ended up making Trump a big issue. Trump ended up being a liability in some ways for Republicans in that midterm. And that's one of the things Republicans have kind of been hoping might help them in next year's midterms, that the Democratic Party's image has been so low in polling. And that's why I wanted to show you this. These are the two most recent.
All right. This is the whole point. This is why they are making Donald Trump out to be Satan 2.0. Because they learned in the midterms in Trump's first term was all about Trump being bad. Turn the House over. The midterms where Trump wasn't president, all about Trump being bad. Mitigate the losses. And now they're going, oh, wait a minute, the common theme is Trump, so therefore we're going to take the House in a massive landslide, even though there's precedent that doesn't say that's going to happen. It could still happen. They could still win the House. They could still take back just enough seats for Speaker Hakeem Jeffries. It's completely, totally possible and viable. But this whole talk about Trump's the most unpopular president that's ever existed is simply not true. He's beating Biden, he's beating Obama 2.0, he's beating himself prior, and he barely missed Obama 1.0. He has the most support from the Republican base in all of the 21st century. We've covered all of these things. I'm not telling you this to be complacent, because you got to vote like you're losing all the time. You freaking grind for your country and count the votes after it's all done. But the bottom line on this, the manipulation and the gaslighting is only going to continue as you get closer and closer to the midterm elections, because the Democrats are desperate. That's why they're telling you these things. And now this is the part where the Democrats are just as bad as Republicans, and they're both shit sandwiches. Watch this.
Recent polls we have since the November election about the views of each party. Two polls so far. We'll see how this develops. You see the Republicans, 38 favorable, 39 unfavorable, well over 50 unfavorable in each one of these polls. Now, what we've been seeing for a while is that the Democrats were much more unpopular than the Republicans, but in these two polls, not that big of a gap. Look here, in the Fox News poll, 39-58 for the Republicans, 39-58 for the Democrats. In this Economist YouGov poll, again, not much of a gap. So one of the things Republicans have been talking about is maybe being a bit of a boost for them in the midterms has been that the Democratic numbers had been so low. In the two polls we've seen since the November elections, though, not a huge gap between the parties in these two polls. See if that's the start of a trend over the next year. And we just end with this one, Ryan. This is the generic congressional ballot. Which party do you want to control Congress? It's basically a 5-point advantage for Democrats right now. Now, at this same point in the 2018 cycle, that blue wave midterm, it was twice as high. So the climate is not that sort of 5 alarm, you might say, for the Republicans yet. But to be down 5 points a year out from the midterms with the trend lines we're showing you, that's very concerning for them.
Okay, it's not ideal, no. And there's refinements and there's opportunities that are being worked out. But again, I want to just draw some simple conclusions. In 2018, it was 9.6. Right now, it's 4.8. That's half. So this whole notion that everything that you believe in is going out the window, Republicans are gone, conservatives are gone, Trump's gone, MAGA's gone, it simply does not check out in data. It's all propaganda. Anything can happen. I'll never tell you what can and can't happen before it happens. But objectively, you are being gaslit, which is why I'm doing all of these videos for you guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I will see you on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.